That's great. I got a like and not even a viewer yet. Okay. Welcome to Tuesday night. It is Tuesday night. No, September 12th of 2021 live Q&A for the Series 7 exam, Series 6 exam, SIE exam, 63, 65, 66. Welcome on. I didn't get it started till 83. I have a couple people texting me, Lisa, you need to relax a little bit and just be calm. We're getting going. We're going to do this. Okay. So couple things. We have obviously the greatest channel ever invented was My Capital Advantage Tutoring. We have other places we can go. If you want materials, go into my links. I have into my details. I have Achievable, which is rock solid for SIE 763. I think they said they're going to get the 66 coming out pretty soon. Who knows? And then we have STC, which is great on everything. I have links for both of them. You get a discount for the STC. If you want free Kindle Unlimited, go into the link right there and hit that. You're gonna get 30 days free of Kindle Unlimited. Love that stuff. Now, if you want other resources, I can tutor you. You go to series7exam.org. If you want a little cheaper tutoring, you can go to Michael Weiss. He's awesome, and he's about, I think he's a little more than half my cost. He's Series 7, and as Alicia will know, he's Series7examtutor.com. Series7examtutor.com. And then we have I have my free stuff. We have Basic Wisdom, which is Brandon Rith, awesome guy. He writes for Achievable. We have Achievable stuff. You can go to Dean Tinney's stuff. He has some good stuff on the Series 7 and stuff like that. Yeah, Alicia, we know you're talking about you. And I think we're in good shape. That's a lot of the resources you can do. Again, if you guys are with Kaplan or Past Perfect, STC, you're going to be fine. I think and Achievable. If you're 80 Banker, ExamFX, you probably heard my thoughts on them. Okay. I think Past Perfect, and if Past Perfect is fine, it's just too deep. Past Perfect takes you way, way, way deeper than you need to on the test. Okay, so let's get on. Let me go up to the top. Ginger, how are you? Okay, Ginger, Ruben, we got this. Emmanuel, I'm glad you're on here. Helen, boom. Oh, you need all the answers. I love that, Helen. I love that stuff. Okay. Lily, so you're running into trouble on the taxes. We'll talk about that. Ruben, boom. That's right. We know you're going to take this in 30 days anyway, so don't worry about this. Maybe 25 days or so, right? If they tell you they're going to sponsor you, you let them pay for it. If not, drop the cash and book this thing. Okay. Trish, how are you? Justin, how are you, my man? How are you, Justin? You can say some shit if you want. Okay. Emmanuel, that's funny. No, Michael's fine. Here's my thing, Emmanuel. When I say, I'm going to say this with all humility, I am the fucking best tutor in the fucking world on this shit. This is the only thing I'm good at. There's nothing else. I am good. I am horrible at everything else in my life. Just ask my family. But this shit, I am on the I am the epiphany. I am Zeus. Okay. And everyone else is less. I'm very humble, as you noticed. Okay. Now, Alicia, how are you? Samuel, I can't say the rest of your name. I'm just Georgiana, how are you? Michael Santana, how are you? Stefan, Patrick, and did I miss anyone? Okay, let me start from the beginning. So now, Helen wants all the answers. Cost you more than just my hourly rate. Okay, you're taking the 6 soon. Okay, so Lily, I don't know when you're taking it, but before I get into the tax, because that's a really broad thing, I want you to go into, I know you're not taking the 7, but if you go into my playlist called Must Watch the Series 7, there's a video called Taxes. It's called Taxes Baby, actually. And it's really good. I think, again, it's me. I think it's good. Other people have said it's good. So go on there first. And then if you want, we can go watch that. And then Thursday, we come back to it. Because taxes aren't all that bad. On the 6th, they're not horrible. They're on there, but they're not horrible. And if Lisa comes on here, well, I hope she's on here. Let me tell her I'm on. If I'm going to talk about her, I want her to be on. Now let's make sure the other person's on. Boom. Okay. And I think, Alicia, you sent me some questions. I'll take a look at them. Okay. So now, again, the taxes aren't all that bad. Somebody who just took the 6 recently could probably give you a better idea. I still don't think. I think most of it's going to be mutual funds, annuities, communications, and customer accounts. Okay. So Lisa, since you are on and you took the 6 recently, I'm saying no. There's Alicia and okay. No, you. Oh, hold on. My bad. Hold on. I said hi to you. So there's 2 Lisas, and both Lisas texted me. Okay. Both of you. Oh, the lights almost went. Did you see it get dark for a second? No, Alicia, I don't have your name attached to your number yet because I'm too lazy. So I hit that, not even thinking it was you. So I have Elisa and Alicia. Lisa, who just took it, if you can give some idea of what the 6 was like to Lily. Okay. No, nobody wants to see that. Okay. And then we go back to this. So Emmanuel, should I take the 65 or 66? Do you have the 63 already? That's a tough question. That's really like if you have the 63 already, if you took it recently, maybe the 66 would be easier because half the exam is a 63. Just throwing it out there. The problem with the 65 is it's a longer exam. You only need a 72, but it's a much longer exam. Okay. Okay, Samuel. Here's the thing. I am okay with past perfect. I just think they're too fucking deep. They go way too deep into the math, and their options are ridiculous. I know somebody said they got a really good question. Sarah got 90 on options. That's awesome. So, Samuel, past perfect takes you to a level that you don't need to do, and a lot of times you end up wasting time on stuff that will not be on the exam. So, yes, they're fine, and if you're passing past perfect stuff, you're in good shape. Emmanuel, training consultants. Okay. Emmanuel, training consultants is okay for the SIE. I think they're a little light for the 7. Okay. So training consultants, I think, is a lot light for the 7. I don't think they give you enough. I think they're okay, but I think you got to supplement it with either cap on questions or more STC stuff or somebody else's or achievables, which is rock solid. I think you need to add a supplement to feel better about it. You really do. Okay. Stefan, you're taking this Friday? You're going to rock this thing. You're going to rock it. Okay. Okay. So Alicia has a great question. Okay. Now, let's see. So, okay, blackout period. Hold on. Number 1. Hold on. Yeah, I'm fucking full of myself. That's the greatest thing. Okay. False confidence. Okay. So advanced decline ratio. This is all this is. If you ever watch CNBC in the morning, they have a thing called the heat map. Okay. It shows red and green. So the advanced decline ratio, the breadth of the market, is trying to show you how deep a move up or down is. So for the Series 7, you will see this maybe on the Series 7, maybe on the 66 and 65, not on the 63, not on the SIE. Like how I got them all in there. So, what was I going to say on this? Now, the advanced decline ratio is how many stocks are up versus down. It doesn't matter how far up. It's just up or down, okay? So if it's up, if you have say we have 500 stocks in the market, just throwing it out there. If the market's up 10 points, but it's still like only a few stocks that are up a lot and the rest of them are down, that actually shows you that it's not a very strong market. So the breadth of the market as you're looking at it, sometimes you'll see the market's up and everything's green because everything's up, okay? And sometimes you'll see like the market's down and it's like 50-50. So it's not a deep down. It's telling you how strong the up or down is. And that's what's going on here. So that's what the advanced decline ratio is. It's how many things are up versus down. Even if it's up a penny, it's up, or down a penny, it's down. So it's comparing the ups versus down. Okay. So the blackout period, there's a couple of things. So the blackout period is for research usually. So if you're a researcher, gotta remember what this is. So if you're a researcher, either the managing underwriter or even the lead underwriting, if you're the underwriter on an IPO, it's a 10-day blackout. Okay. Now, if it's on an additional offering, I don't remember the numbers. If you're an addition, it's how many days you cannot publish research if you're an underwriter. If you're an underwriter, okay, and you what's the best way to say? If you're an underwriter and you want to publish research about an IPO, you have to wait 10 days after the effective date. Either managing or regular, just an underwriter. Selling group doesn't matter. If you're doing an additional public offering, which you're adding more shares, okay, to the company, then the managing underwriter has a 3-day blackout and nobody else has any blackout. And again, blackout is how many days you cannot publish research. I think that's what they mean. That's usually the blackout that we talk about. Okay. Hope that helps, Alicia. Hope that helps. Georgiana. Okay. Lily, oh, you're taking it tomorrow. Okay. Trish, I'm going to do it real quick on the butterfly. Okay. Patrick, I do not have anything on the CFA exams, but look up. I think I might have a tutor if you need it, but usually if you do the Kaplan Schweizer program, I think they're the best. Okay. Lily, you're taking it tomorrow. Okay. The taxes is a broad thing. So as soon as we're on here, go watch my taxes video. It'll answer every single question. I'm hoping Lisa can jump on and tell you how many Series 6, how many tax things there were. Okay. Yvonne, how are you? Okay. Heavily tested questions. It's a lot, but there's going to be rules and regs, and there's going to be a lot of so Justin, on the 65, there's going to be a lot of rules and regs, and there's going to be a lot of portfolio management stuff, a lot of overlap from the 7, which is good. But here's the thing. So a lot of people, when you take the 7, Stefan, you got the 65 already, right? Right. So it's not, I don't think it's as hard as a 66, even though it's longer. Okay. So now Trish, butterfly spread, they're not going to ask you on it, or if they do, it's going to be like, recognize it, right? So butterfly spread is going to be a 4-legged option. You're going to have 2 in the money options and 2 out of the money options. And the whole point is that you're either trying to look for a little volatility or stability. That's all they are. They're not going to make you figure out the math on that. They are not. They're barely going to make you do the math in general. But butterfly spread, you just have to know that it's a 4-legged spread with 2 in the money options and 2 out of the money options, calls and puts and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, Alicia, I agree. Training consultants is good for the SIE, but it's not so great for okay. So Lisa, I hope you're listening to me, and I want to help Lily out and tell her if there's a lot of tax questions. You don't have to explain it. Just tell me if you see a lot of tax questions on it. Feel free to pipe up, since I help you a lot with all these stuff, and we're not. It's kind of giving back a little bit. Okay. Oh, a lot of questions. Good. Okay. Sure, I can do that. Okay. So now the selling group. Okay. So again, Patrick, I don't have anything for the CFA. I'm a dumbass. That's way beyond my shit. If you shoot me a text or an email, I could probably give you some names of people who can help you. But did you see that this year, I think the passing rate for the level 1 was 22%, which is freaking insane. Okay. Oh, you can't get onto the chat? Huh. So Lisa, did you see a lot of taxes on that? Put it here and then I'll relay it. Okay. I can't do big questions off the chat. So like I said, remember I said, if you're going to ask me questions, you have to do, if you're going to text them to me, you have to do it before 8:30 because I can't keep looking. It's not fair. Okay. So now, difference between a selling group and a syndicate. Okay. So a selling group, so there's a syndicate. So we create the syndicate. We have the lead underwriter. We have all the members of the syndicate. The syndicates are like the JP Morgans, the UBSs. They're part of the syndicate and they're part of the contract, and they have legal financial responsibilities. So for the Series 7 and the SIE, you do need to know this. And the 66, maybe. If you are a member of the syndicate, you are possibly financially responsible for the offering. So if you're part of the offering and you don't sell what you're supposed to, you may have to come up with some money to cover the cost of the shares that you didn't sell. You are responsible, whether it's Eastern or Western, you're responsible for something. The selling group is not. The selling group is really just a broker dealer with a bunch of people making phone calls. And basically they don't take an allocation until they get a sale. So they make a bunch of phone calls. They get somebody to say yes. Then they buy it from the syndicate for a little bit more than the syndicate paid. So the syndicate pays the takedown, and then they sell it. They add an additional takedown onto it, and they sell it to the selling group who buys it. And say the bond's issued at 1,000, the selling group buys it at 990. They make $10 on every bond. That's a selling concession. The big thing about a selling group is they are not part of the syndicate. They are like a third-party marketer, if you want to think about it. They have no financial responsibilities. So they can issue research anytime they want. They're not part of the syndicate. They're not an underwriter. They're just a person. They're just a firm trying to sell the bonds or the stock. A member of the underwriting or the underwriting group or the syndicate group is absolutely part of the offering, and they are legally and financially responsible. They have fiduciary responsibilities. They have all that. They are part of the deal. Okay. Is the 65 easier than the 66? I don't know. I have no idea because I don't know. It depends what you're strong in, what you're not strong in. If you've taken the 63 already, take the 66 because half the 66 is the 63. Okay. Okay. So now, when they talk about the name of, Emmanuel, you took the 63 a long time ago. Well, here's the thing. If you take the 66 and you fail, you can take the 65 the next day. As long as you pay for it. Nobody cares. So now back to you, Stefan. So a calendar spread. So the names of spreads are always they name them based on what's different. So on the Series 7, you will get this. If you buy a 50 call and sell a 60 call, okay, let's change it up. If you buy an October 50 call and sell an October 60 call, that's a price or vertical spread. Why? What's different? The strikes are different. If the strike prices are different, it's a vertical or price spread. Let's change it up. Let's say I buy an October 60 call and I sell a December 60 call. What's different? The months. That's a calendar. What's on a calendar? The months. And that's horizontal. So if the strikes are different, it's vertical and or a price spread. If the months are different, it's a horizontal or a calendar or a time spread. If they're both different, it's a diagonal. So if you buy an October 50 call and sell a November 60 call, that's a diagonal because both things are different. That's all it is. They're naming them, okay? They're naming them by what's different. Again, strikes are different. It's vertical. If the months are different, it's calendar or horizontal. Okay. Okay. Lacy Blue, 66 Saturday. Okay. So, yeah, we'll get onto that. It should be 3 days, Tamer. Okay. It should be 2, but it is 3. Okay. Now, Lacey. So the 66, you're taking a Saturday. Hopefully you're scoring okay on the exams. Make sure you got the regs down. Seriously. That half the damn test is rules and regs. They keep saying there's no options on the exam. It's going to pop up 1 or 2, not a big deal. Don't sweat the formulas, okay? Do not sweat the formulas. Make sure you can recognize them and know what NPV, PV, FV, future value, know what they're for. Don't have to do the math. You won't have to do it. You might have to do a total return. You might have to do an option problem. You might have to do current yield or something like that. But again, the math is not that busy. You might have to do a rule of 72 question. Some people say you might have to do the equity index annuity problems, but you're not going to have to do all of them. So I'm going to be one of them. If you can do the equity index annuity reset thing, maybe I should try to do a video on that. That's a great idea. But it's those are the math you have to do. But make sure I can't say this enough. You got to get the regs down. You got to get the state rules, broker-dealer, IA, all that stuff. And you do need to, I would say, get the investment vehicles down. Go through that chapter again. Go through again. Make sure you know what all the insurance is, all the annuities, the mutual funds. Make sure you know them as much as you can, in and out. That's what you want. So for the 66, you want to know the regs, rules, and regs. Get the investment vehicles down. Not that it's huge, but it seems to hurt people, okay? That's where that is, okay? Now, so for transfer, so we're talking about an ACAT. Okay, so if you're moving from one account to another, say you're at JP Morgan and you want to move to Schwab, what's going to happen is when you go to Schwab, you fill out an ACAT, or TRF, if you want to call it, transfer form. They're going to send it over to JP Morgan. JP Morgan, this will be on the SIE, the 6, the 7, all of them, okay? You'll send it over to JP Morgan, the form. They have 1 day to verify it. If they have an option, they really can't dispute it unless it's an amount wrong or they don't know an account or there's a proprietary product. So say you have 50 products. over at JP Morgan Securities, and one of them is a JP Morgan only thing. They have to let the other stuff go and then let you know that you can't transfer the proprietary one. So they have 3 days to deliver it. Okay. I thought it should be moved down to 2 because of settlement, but they never change it. So ACAT form, the first firm, the original firm, has 1 day to verify and then 3 days to deliver the securities to the new firm. So again, you're going to Schwab, you're leaving JP Morgan, they send the form over to JP Morgan. JP Morgan has 1 day to verify this shit and then 3 days to deliver it. Boom. If you think I'm helping you, hit like, please share this shit, tell people. Okay, so now, okay, Michael Morphy just decided to take the SIE. I like that. Just out of the blue, taking the SIE. I like that. How many hours should I put into it? Well, it depends. If you have a finance background, you have to do less. If you have none, you have to do more. Like you're talking 50 to 100. I think 50 hours. I'm not a fan of saying how many hours. It's really how long does it take you to get it done. If you're a fast reader, it's less. If you're a slow reader, it's more. Okay. If you don't have materials, you can use Kaplan. Past Perfect is good, but they're tough. You can go in my details and either get Achievable or STC. Either one works. Achievable is great because it's cheap and it's pretty easy to understand. STC is good because you can do any exam there. So anything. Achievable has a ton of questions too. But again, if you use Kaplan or Past Perfect or even training consultants, you'll be fine also. But I would focus on reading the book first before you do anything else. Okay. Yeah, Manuel took the 63 and hey, Alicia, absolutely right. Okay. Oh, Justin, I missed your message. Okay. I don't know if I thought of something about SIE. I do any exam. Any exam you have a question on. Okay. Let me do this. Boom, boom, boom. Right. No math on the 66 at all. Okay. Boom. Hold on. There you go, Lisa. Thank you so much. Okay. That's awesome. So Lily, if you saw this, if you're still on here, make sure you go over. Yeah. There's no math on the 66. They make it seem like there is. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. If Marvin's on here, he's taking the 63. Mutual funds and closed-end funds. I agree. I think that's the thing. It's, as I say, it's customer accounts, communications, mutual funds, annuities. That's going to, for the Series 6, for the Series 6, that's going to be your best choice. I think I'm having like a stroke or something. Okay, so now. Yeah, by the way, yeah, so Lacey, the 66, pretty much, if you get more than one math question, something went wrong. Probably not going to happen. Okay. Boom. I agree. Wendy, I agree. Okay. Okay. I agree, Wendy, that the FINRA website is good for the SIE, but you shouldn't do that until you're farther along, right? So you shouldn't do the FINRA one until you're farther along on the process for the SIE, because you can take it as many times as you want, but it's the same questions every time. So all of a sudden you'll get like a 70 and then an 80, and it's not really an 80 because of knowledge, it's because you memorize questions. So I love it. It's good to see where you are. It's a great website to see. It's a great test to see if you're ready. You can also go on Knopman Marks, KNOPMAN Marks. Go on their thing and check out. They have a free SIE exam that you can download. I think you give your email and then they email it to you. I don't think you can just download it anymore. You actually have to get the email from them. Okay. Okay, so Stefan, I think we started doing that a little bit, but always remember, okay? The farther month is always going to be the more expensive. So if you sold the farther month, it's a credit. If you bought the farther month, it's a debit. Stefan, here's why you're getting fucked up. Because Past Perfect sucks with this. Past Perfect goes out of their way to confuse you, okay? After you pass this, you need to talk to your firm about getting rid of Past Perfect. Hell, tell them to buy Achievable. I'll set up the account. They will take it. So again, they will always tell you on the test either when you bought it, so then you know the farther month is it, or they're going to make it very obvious, like January and December. The January has to be the farther one because options are only 9 months long, so you can't have a January and then December. It has to be December and January. They are going to make it crystal clear. Okay. Prime brokerage, I can do that. Okay. So, yeah, David, so David, yeah, I don't know how many hours you do. I think between 50 and 100. Like I said, Alicia said she did 100. It's however you study, right? I'm not a fan of just checking your practice exams. I want to know, did you read the book? Did you read it twice? Are you scoring well on the practice exams? Are you doing it because you're memorizing, or are you doing it because you understand it? Those are all questions you have to ask yourself to decide. Okay. Now, prime brokerage. Okay. So prime brokerage is this. I'm a hedge fund. Okay. I want to use you guys for the Series 7 and SIE. This actually, and the 6, this could be on there too. I am a hedge fund. I want to use ABC broker dealer, and I want to use Dewey Cheatham and Howe broker dealer, and I want to use blah 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 broker dealer, American whatever. Okay. Now, I don't want to have to keep moving my positions around to each place, so I will open an account at like a JP Morgan or a Jefferies or a UBS or Morgan Stanley as my prime, where all my securities will go in there. My securities and my cash will go into this prime brokerage account. It's like a wheelhouse, okay? And as I do executions with ABC, BDC, Dewey Cheatham and Howe, all these other broker dealers, they have what they call a DVP, RVP account that will set up. So what happens is, as you do a trade with ABC broker dealer on my behalf, the prime broker will send the securities or the money to ABC to finish the trade. Okay, so prime broker really does that. Prime broker is like a wheelhouse. They hold all my securities and my cash. If I do a trade with a smaller broker dealer that doesn't have the capacity or to hold on my securities, they will do the trade, send the details to JP Morgan. JP Morgan will send the information and the securities and the cash to the small one so that they can settle. That's what a prime broker is. A prime broker allows you set it up so you can execute to the prime broker too if you want, but that's not what they're there for. They're there to facilitate the trades when you do them with another broker dealer, and they're fine with that. They're charging your commission. They're lending their shares out on margin. They're making money. Prime brokerages make a lot of money. They don't worry about them missing commissions. So again, they're like a wheelhouse, and that allows you to execute trades with multiple different broker dealers. Okay. Michael Santana, before I answer that question, you need to go on my channel and find, I have a thing where I did a whole thing on arbitration and code of procedure. I did arbitration and code of procedure. I did a whole video on it, but I'm going to give you the 10,000 foot view. Arbitration is for disputes. It's not for when you do something wrong. It could be, but it's mostly for if you and I disagree on money. So for the SIE, the 7 and the 6, you will have to know this, okay? If we have a disagreement, we can go to arbitration. They will try to send us to mediation first, which is not binding, but the arbitration is binding. Remember that. So if we sit in front of a panel of either 1 or 3 arbitrators, whatever they decide, we have to go with. It's not appealable. You cannot appeal it. So if it's under 100,000, there'll be 1 arbitrator, and then under 50, you can actually do simplified, which is by mail. Anything over 100 grand is going to be 3 arbitrators, and they make a decision. Once they decide, it's done. You can't say no. This is not for violations. This is for disputes, money disputes, whatever kind of disputes. Okay, that's what arbitration is. They did it to go around the to shorten the whole court process. So, and the other part is you cannot force someone to go to arbitration unless they've signed the pre-arbitration agreement. They used to put it in the new account form. Now it has to be separate. And they have to say, by the way, you're signing up for arbitration. If you sign the arbitration agreement, then you can be forced to go to arbitration as far as customers go. If you work in the industry as a rep or whatever it is, or if there's a broker dealer, they always go to arbitration. By filling out the U4, you're filling out an agreement to FINRA arbitration at the same time. Hope that helps, Michael. Okay. Rules and regs, baby. Rules and regs. Okay. Oh, David, you're going for the 7? You want 100, but you got to read the book first. Oh, okay, there's your question, Justin. Thank you. Okay. So So yeah, like I said, I put Series 7 because it is what it is on the thing. I can answer any FINRA question. So David, you're trying to get done in 30 days. It depends how much time you have. Okay. If you have all day to study, it's totally doable. If you have to work all the time, it's going to be tougher. Hope you have the SIE already. I have one student that called me up. They've called for her boss, and they said they wanted the 7, and they didn't even know about the SIE yet. So it is what it is. You got to take the SIE and the 7. So if you're doing that, make sure you get reading, and make sure for the Series 7, make sure that you read in the beginning. Okay, that's the most important thing, and then start taking tests. Your test should be to see where you are. Testing, in my mind, testing is not studying. Testing is testing. Reading and watching videos is studying. And jump on here. Okay. But you probably want to push most toward 100 hours, definitely for the 7, if not more, depending on your background. Now, what are the most important sections to focus on for the SIE? You want to make sure you get the regs, the FINRA rules, the anti-money laws. Not know every little detail. Get the big ones. FINRA rules. You want to get the SEC rules. You want to get anti-money laundering rules, and then risks like investment risk, interest rate risk, reinvestment risk, all systematic versus non-systematic, all the risks. You want to know them cold because it's all over the exam. I actually go, if you look at my one playlist, I go through the entire book, chapter by chapter, explaining everything in kind of English instead of their words. Okay. Lily, don't be scared. The 6, I am telling you, if you pass the, Lily, did you pass the SIE? Okay. So if you pass the SIE, the 6 should be fine. I know Lisa told me that I was full of crap a little bit when I said the 6 was easier than the SIE. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's more straightforward because you're studying less things: mutual funds, annuities, customer accounts, communications, and then a little bit of suitability, very little. Okay. Merrill is absolutely prime brokerage. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. When did the SIE expires? After 4 years. Okay. The SIE expires after 4 years. Okay. If I wanted to run my own firm hedge holding company, but did not want to be invited to the party, which test should I take to advise my own staff on how to trade and legally advise friends? If you take the Series 65, if you want to start at what they call an investment advisory firm, okay, you can start an investment advisory firm. It's a tough road, but you can sit there and get the 65, and you can't get commissions, but you can be just paid for the advice. You don't have to work for FINRA. You can just give them advice and tell them what to do, and then they can pay you for that. That is what the Series 65 as an investment advisor firm become an IAR for that. So if you can't take the 66 or 63 and do that, both the 63 and 66 have to be paired with a 6 or a 7. The 65 can be a standalone, and that would work for you, I think. Okay. Lily, you will rock this test tomorrow. Lacey, I know you will rock this test. Take your time. Okay. That's funny. Okay. Right. So, Wendy, right. The SIE lasts for 4 years after it's done. Okay. Hope that helps, Joshua. Okay. I think Kaplan, fail perfect. That's funny. So, Caleb is a funny guy. Caleb, are you the one who gave me the love letter to that other person? Are you the one who told me that I should tell somebody else I said hi? Because I did it in the group, and somehow she's on here. Okay. So now, I'm a matchmaker now. I think the mutual fund video is pretty good. Make sure you watch the suitability one. I think the suitability one and the taxes one should help you too. They're in the Series 7 group, but it's fine. I should probably put them in the 6 one also. Okay. Wendy, how are you? Okay. Can I elaborate on the powers of the state admin? The state administrator can require the publication of it. Okay. So, yeah, Tamer, if we're talking about Past Perfect, the reason we don't recommend Past Perfect so much is because they go too deep. And yes, if you're passing Past Perfect, you'll probably pass the exam. But your problem is you're spending so much time working on formulas and stuff. You may not be getting the big picture. It may add a week or two onto your stuff. Okay. Now, the powers of the state admin, it's kind of tough to do in like a 2-minute thing. But the state administrator can suspend, deny, revoke. Okay, the state administrator can suspend, deny, revoke. They can order a cease and desist. They can do all that stuff to where they have jurisdiction, especially in their state. So in their state, they absolutely can dictate. They can interpret rules. They can enforce them and stuff like that. The big thing is they cannot do an injunction. They cannot enjoin you. That's a court thing. And they cannot arrest you. They don't do the criminal stuff. They refer to the courts. Okay. Yes. And if you register in a state, they can require a consent to serve as a process, which is allowing the administrator to take legal papers on your behalf. They can require some sort of net capital or net worth requirement. They can, if you have custody, they can require a surety bond. They can require to post your firm in a newspaper for like a 3-week or 6-week period to make sure it's out there. If you open an LLC in New York, you have to post the LLC in a daily paper for 3 weeks and then in a weekly paper for like 6 weeks. So it's out there. I mean, I don't know what they do if you don't, but you don't want to take that chance. The administrator can do a lot of things. They're the god in their state. If they have jurisdiction, if anything happens in their state or to one of their residents, then they have jurisdiction. Okay. Again, it's can't do it on here. It's too broad. Okay. Okay. I agree. I think past perfect gives a lot. If you're like a super intellectual and you love to go deep dives on everything and you have all day to study, past perfect works. If not, there are so many other vendors. Okay. Therese, hit me up. I have a hard stop at 9:30 though. I have another student. Okay. Yeah, and I'm going down my daughter's graduation Sunday. So I will have a one this Thursday. I will have a live this Thursday and then going on. I just couldn't do last Thursday. Okay. Okay. Took final 42. Oh, wow. You took 42 finals? I know somebody that did that, and then they ended up barely passing something because you start memorizing answers and you just burn out. Okay. Last one, 88. So, yeah, Wendy, go take the damn test, right? Okay. See, that's okay. Okay, so no place of okay, so that's fair. So, right. So, if you here's the thing taking a lot of finals is not studying. I can't say that enough. I say this all the time. Taking exams is not studying. Taking exams is taking your temperature. Okay, reading, watching videos, going over flashcards. That's studying. Okay, the taking tests is not. Okay. Now, no place of business. So if I am a broker dealer and I have no place of business, which either is an office or like say I rent a hall, like in a hotel hall or something like that. That's a place of business. So if I have a place of business or an office, and they'll say that, they're not going to make you decide what is. I mean, the vendors do, but the test won't. If you have a place of business in a state, you pretty much have to freaking register in that state. The only one that doesn't is a federally covered IA, like one registered with the SEC. Now, let's talk about that for a second. So if I have a federally covered, let's leave the federal covered IA out. They don't ever have to register in the state. If I'm a broker dealer and I have no office or no place of business, want to say, and no retail, I don't have to register. So if I'm a broker dealer, like I work at a broker dealer, I have institutional clients only. I have no retail clients. I have an office here in Connecticut. So I register in those 2 states, but nowhere else. I have clients all over the country, what the firm does. I don't have to register in any state because I have no place of business or office. So a place of business is either an office or you rent a hall or something like that. Meeting someone in a Starbucks or in a hotel lobby is not a place of business. Actually, renting a place or even a temporary apartment or anything like that is a place of business and would require registration. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go, Therese. Okay. A long S&P put is the best choice to hedge which, okay, portfolio. A portfolio of gas stocks, a well-diversified small cap portfolio, a well-diversified large cap portfolio, a portfolio of alcohol stocks. Okay, so an S&P is a broad-based index, okay? Okay. That's a great question. Yeah, at least I did. I just answered your question. You gotta pay attention. Okay, unless you answer the second question. Okay. Now, back over this. Yeah, I did a whole 5-minute thing on this data admin, Lisa. Go where you watch it. Okay, so now, where are we? Okay, so Therese goes, if I'm long an S&P put, which is a broad-based option, okay, that means it's like the S&P 500, which is a broad-based index. Okay, so you're going to buy puts. So so the answer is going to be C, a large cap portfolio, because S&P are all large caps, okay, pretty much, okay. Russell 2000 is small caps. So you're going to buy an option to match what you're doing. So if you have a portfolio of large cap stocks, a well-diversified large cap stocks, you're going to buy an index on a option on a broad-based index. Match it. So if you had gas stocks or if you did the small caps, you would buy a Russell 2000 put. If you did gas stocks or alcohol stocks, you would buy narrow base. You'd find an index for just either gas or or alcohol index, that stuff, and then you'll buy options on that. So if you're buying a specific sector, you'll buy narrow based options. If you're buying a well-diversified portfolio, you're going to buy broad-based, and the S&P is absolutely a broad-based index. Okay. Lisa, I answered your question. If an investor with a hedge fund wanted the firm to speak on their behalf, what's the best answer? I wanted the firm to speak on their behalf. There might be more to that question. Okay. Caleb nailed it. Good. Rose, how are you? Okay. If an investor with a hedge fund wanted this firm to speak on their behalf, what's the best answer? I don't know. I guess a prime broker, but I don't know what the other choices are. And that's interesting. Okay. If you can get the other choices, Tamer. Finish the SI in insurance. I won't test if I don't think I'm ready, but hope. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. So that's fine. So yeah, you should be. Look, if you have 30 days to take it and you pass those other ones, you should be fine. 30 days of studying all day long, David, for the 7, you should be fine. Okay. So I'm still, wow, 12 minutes behind. So SI, can I explain LGIPs? Okay. So LGIPs are basically, municipalities have extra cash. Where do they invest it? These are local government investment portfolios. I think that's what the P is. It's where they're allowed to invest money to hold on to it while they're waiting to spend it or whatever it is. So if they have excess of money, they put it in the money in LGIPs. That's for municipalities to invest their money. I got to work through this quick because I got to be done. Oh, awesome. Lily, that's awesome. I love that. Okay. Sean, Avesh, how are you doing, my man? How are you? Okay. Oh, Ruben, that's funny. Yeah, that's my 2-year-old. That's funny. Good ears, Ruben. They're still playing it. Okay. I did not see that. Okay. Alicia, that's one I did not see. Okay. So a value fund, a fund of fund is basically a mutual fund or a hedge fund that buys other hedge funds. It's not fucking suitable for anyone because it's double fees and it's risky. So I'm going to kid around. So a fund of funds is for someone who wants to invest in hedge funds and get that higher reward, hopefully more risk, more reward, but they're not accredited or they can't invest in a hedge fund directly. So they buy a mutual fund of funds. Okay. A lot of times it's hedge fund of funds, which is a hedge fund that buys multiple hedge funds. And that's what this is. So a fund of funds is a portfolio of hedge funds. So the problem is you're going to pay double fees. You're going to pay the fees for the hedge fund fees and you're going to pay the mutual fund fees. So you're paying double fees. Now, a value fund, and that's more for a sophisticated investor who wants to take risk. A value fund is something for someone who is a little less risky. They're looking for more income, and it's a fund built up of value companies. What are value companies? Companies that are undervalued. Okay, companies that are undervalued, and they probably pay a higher dividend, but they're not super sexy. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, so that's good. So you have a lot of time. Okay, that's good, David. Okay, I know I'm behind, so I'm yelling at Lisa, and I shouldn't because okay. Wendy, you got to read. There's no way around that. You have no choice. Okay. So Justin, yeah, there's a playlist on my chapter called SIE the book, and I go through the whole book that way. So anyone taking the SIE, check out my SIE the book playlist. It covered. You like the glasses, by the way? I figured out I don't want to change them because when I put these on, it doesn't knock my glasses off. Okay. So and I don't break them then. So where? Oh, that's so funny. Look at that. Helen's trying to help out too with that. Okay, so now Georgiana, run. No, Caleb's the nicest guy in the world. Okay. What videos? So that's the SIE, my SIE the book videos. It's called SIE the book. I go through every chapter and I explain it pretty well, I think. Okay. So this Wendy, the 6 is to be able to sell mutual. Oh, I think you answered it, but to sell mutual funds and annuities. Okay. RNK, most people don't. Okay. Most people don't have. A lot of people on here, a lot of people taking the exam don't have a finance or an econ background. A lot of people don't. They just don't. It's kind of the thing. It's like they're coming at they're switching careers, or they're trying something new, or they get in there. Okay. Okay. Can I discuss the following? A company that has never, and I'm almost caught up. I'm only 9 minutes behind. I got to catch up because I got to be out here at 9:30. I don't want to cut any questions off. Can you discuss the following? A company that has never previously issued securities registered with SEC can register state by coordination. Remember, we've gone over this. I've gone over this with everyone a million times. Qualification is one state. If these registered with the SEC, if it is registered with the SEC, never previously registered securities registered with the SEC. That sounds like never previously registered securities, but it is registered with the SEC. It's going to be coordination. So if it's one state, qualification. If it's more than one state and the SEC, it's coordination. You're coordinating between the SEC and the states. And if it's only the SEC, like on an exchange, or let's say it's a mutual fund or a Reg D, it's going to be notice filing or filing, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay. Qualification is one state, no SEC. Coordination is SEC and states. Filing is Reg D or mutual funds. And anything on exchange doesn't register in the state at all. That's what it is. And it's what it is that the books do a really bad job. I'm not that angry. I am angry at the books, but they make you panic so much about all the little details. It is exactly as I just said it is. Qualification is one state. Coordination is the state and the SEC. And filing is not states at all. And it's mutual funds or Reg D just sending a note into the state saying, hey, we're here, but we're not registered with you. Okay. Yeah, again, so Wendy, I know that you're scoring tests. I want you to start reading the book. You got to just start reading the book again. And if that means you have to get a different book, get a different book. Go by STC. I have a link. Go by Kaplan. I don't care. Buy another. You know what? I'm not telling you to spend a lot of money, but maybe just buy questions from somebody else. But you got to read the book. Hopefully, if you have Past Perfect, you got the little quick book. If you get the hardcover, read that at least. You don't have to read the big ass, the 4,000-page Past Perfect book, but read their quick book. I think they have one. If they don't, call them, tell them you failed, and see if they'll send it to you. Okay. Right. See, exactly. So just like Alicia said, okay, it's funny. I was a criminal justice major. So what the hell, right? So Alicia, right, exactly. Most of these people do not have a background. Most people on here don't have a background. So you're with you're among peers. Okay. Rose, yes, I have some. I have a 63 playlist. I have maybe 4 or 5 videos, not a ton on it, but I do have them there, and it covers a lot of it. Okay. Okay. I think here's the thing: a hedge fund would not have a fiduciary account. Not really. I mean, I guess if you give them custody of it, a hedge fund wouldn't hire anyone to be a fiduciary. I got to think it's prime account, Tamer. I got to think it's prime account, because a fiduciary account is more like a custodian account where you're putting their needs in front of yours. A hedge fund wouldn't have that. They're making their own decisions. They're not going to let somebody else make decisions for them. So it has to be prime. Okay. Okay. I'm only 8 minutes behind. I really got to catch up. Okay. Which investor is the most suitable for a 30-year, 4.5? Teresa, you always come up with the Oh, Vaughn, that's easy. Transfer agent is the one who actually moves the names around. The registrar is their boss. I don't think they're going to ask a lot of questions on that. Maybe one. The registrar oversees the transfer agent, makes sure the list is complete. The transfer agent is the one who moves the names back and forth when people buy and sell securities. Okay. So, but funny, Georgiana probably ran away as soon as she could. She's like, forget it, I'm out of here. Okay, so now she's going to yell at me on Sunday. Okay, so, oh, by the way, guys, I'm doing the membership group. It has to be Monday, not Sunday. I think I told you because of the graduation. Okay. Which investor is most suitable for a 30-year, 4.25% mortgage bond? Mortgage bond, remember, is not a mortgage-backed security, so it still pays every 6 months. 55-year-old seeks income, moderate low income, moderate low risk. 43-year-old seeks income, moderate high risk. It's not that. Okay, here's why. So a mortgage bond is safer. So a 30-year, 40, so it is one because they want medium to low risk. Moderate to high risk would be more corporate bonds, maybe debentures, maybe convertibles, maybe junk bonds. A mortgage bond is a bond backed by mortgages, so it's pretty safe because if the company fails, they're just going to sell the property to pay the mortgage, so it's safer. That's why it's one, Therese. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay. Okay. Yep, she's very smart being quiet. Okay. Okay. Eddie, that's awesome. Get on the 7. What can I? So Yvonne, like I said, the transfer agent is the one who moves it when somebody makes a sale, buys or sells stock. They change the names, or if it's a restricted security, they take the legend off. Like if it's 144 stock, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's 144 stock, they have to what are you going to call it? If they're 144 stock, you can't sell it during the restricted period. So the transfer agent would take it off. They're the one who handle the securities, make sure that the legends are off or the stamps, and they make sure the name is right. The registrar is in charge of the list. I'm talking way too fast. I highly doubt they're going to ask you much, maybe one question on the difference. Okay. Eddie, read the damn book. If you're going to start studying for the 7, the only thing I can tell you right now is one, get good vendors, either STC, Achievable, Past Perfect, Kaplan, Notman. Read the book first. Get through the book one full time before you even start doing anything. Okay. Is a gift of securities a sale? No. If it's an accessible, there you go. If a gift of securities is not a sale, okay? Because it's a gift. If we give a gift of accessible securities, it is. So again, a gift of securities is not a sale. Non-accessible securities is not a sale. Accessible means that they could ask you for more money, which means you're giving somebody something where the person could ask for more money. That is considered a sale. Okay. Nobody asked any more questions. I have to catch up because I have to go. We can add them on Thursday. Okay. Jose, that's awesome. I love that. Happy day, everyone. Jose, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you. You're done, right? It's so great to be done. You're probably already off because I'm so far behind. That's awesome, Jose. I love that. Okay. Okay, Therese, I'm gonna have to do that. Therese, I'm gonna have to do that on Thursday. I can't do that tonight. I gotta jump. That's oh, what best describes your after-tax yield? Okay. Save that for Thursday, but really it's not accrued or accretion. It's not that hard. It's basically going to be, it should be somewhere between 7 and 10% because the 7% part is not taxable, but that 10%, that 3% above the 7 is taxable. And that's why. So your yield should be somewhere between 7 and 10. Okay. Yeah. Boo, please like me. Please share. More importantly, even if you don't give me the likes, find people in college and share this shit to them. Share it to the professors, your finance professors, if you're young enough. That's what. Tell them I got my shit. Okay. Everyone have a good night. I have my student in 2 minutes. And so again, Therese, I think we kind of did it. Since you bought it in the secondary market, you're not going to accrete. The 7% coupon part is not taxable. That's all right, Ruben. Okay. It's all right. I appreciate it. Double like could be a share. Okay, everyone, listen, there's some free stuff. If you go in here, you get the links. If you want other tutoring, go reach out to Michael Weiss at series7examtutor.com. I'm just kidding. I love you. If you want some free stuff, my thing, Brandon's, Basic Wisdom. Achievable has some great shit. They have some good videos. Go to Dean Tinney. I got mine. We'll go from there. Everyone. We got this. I'll see you all on Thursday night before I head down to Richmond. Everyone, good night. Lisa, you're going to rock this thing. I know you are. And Lily, you're going to rock this. Get some sleep tonight. Watch my tax video. Get off this stupid live right now. Go to sleep. Get sleep. And make sure you read all 4 questions. You have to read all 4 answers before you try to answer it. That is not, okay? All 4 answers before you give it a shot, before you try to answer it. I can't say that enough. And sleep is massive. Okay. Perfect. Y'all, good night. I'm out of here.